Hey everybody, Ted Forbes here. Welcome to another edition of the vlog for the Art of Photography. And hanging out in the office here, and I've actually mounted the camera. I have this cool tripod I'll put a link to that Manfrotto makes, where you can actually clamp the camera via this tripod to a desk. And it makes office recording very cool. So see, we're already learning things in the vlog here. But the reason I turned on the camera is I just got an email, actually, which may or may not come to something, but I thought I'd share it on here because I thought it was pretty cool. I'm on the Lomography mailing list, and if you're not familiar with Lomography, Lomography basically is, they started out as a online mail order kind of thing for cameras, mainly film cameras. And they do a really cool job of doing stuff. And they actually, the last couple of years, have opened up gallery spaces in physical brick and mortar locations in big cities across the world. And the three that they're talking about in this email in particular are San Francisco, New York, I guess LA. And anyway, the Lomo stores are really cool, and one of their big flagship cameras that they started selling was the Holga. And you guys know about Holga Projects, and I think these two things will tie in together. Anyway, they have kind of a cattle call. It's this open audition thing what's the subject of the email is Win Your Dream Space in a Lomography Gallery Store. And basically, you go to their website, download it, and within each of these stores, they have gallery space where they exhibit photos made with the cameras that they sell. One of them being the Holga. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. Anyway, I thought, well, this might be kind of a cool thing to do an exhibition for Holga Projects. We've been doing Holga Projects for about a year. It's slowed down very much recently. Cameras aren't coming back nearly as quickly, and I think some of the initial buzz and hype has worn out just a little bit. So, I've been kind of thinking some ways, I really want to do a book when this is all said and done, but getting a book done at this point, I could go with blurb or something like that. Those are certainly good options. It's print on demand, and so basically you upload all your files, and if somebody wants a copy of the book, they'll print a copy of the book on demand, which is fine, but the only problem is they run a little bit expensive. And I also don't feel like we're at a point with Holga Projects where I have really enough to do a full book with. We've got some really great stuff. I'm not saying that we don't, but I would like to have more in there. So anyway, so here's the deal. What would be cool is to do kind of an interactive exhibition at a Lomography store, I think. And by the way, if anybody's watching this and has a contact at Lomography, send me an email, because I'd really love to talk to them about it and not do a cattle call. But I'm going to do it anyway. And that's why I turned on the camera, because I want to talk about this a little bit. When I downloaded the materials for this, you got to download the PDF and the submission form and all that, and you got to go into details of what you want to do. And literally this email came in probably 30 minutes ago, and I've been thinking about it. What would really be cool is to invite people to come do or participate in Holga Projects right there. Like, so let's say you did it in New York, you could have people come by the store and bring two friends, and I don't know how we'd gear it, but ideally what would be cool, as long as people didn't run off with the cameras, would be to have the cameras there, have people go off in groups and shoot, get their 4 photos in, and come back and bring the camera in. It would really be cool to develop, to have like a little temporary darkroom space set up and actually process the film, scan, and make prints there. This is very optimistic, and like I said, this is 30 minutes of thinking, so it's really big right now in my head. The one thing, the one catch though, even if it was just a simple gallery show or an exhibition of prints of stuff in Holga Projects, the one catch is that they want either you or somebody in your team, as they say, to be able to staff the gallery at all times. So, if you did something for a month, there's no way on earth, I would love to do it, but I just practically can't. I would go broke and be sleeping on the street and eating out of trash cans if I tried to do it. But there's no way that I could sit there and babysit a gallery show for an entire month, 7 days a week. So, and I don't think clearly at this point we have enough viewers that would be even willing to volunteer to do that. People have day jobs, and it's impractical. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is pitch 2 scenarios where, one, if you had just an exhibition that didn't have to be babysat, and maybe there's a 3-day slot at the beginning, maybe this is the other proposal, where just for 3 or 4 days we could do something like this. I could certainly take time off and do something like that, and kind of, I think it would be more fun to make it interactive than it would be to have a gallery exhibition. Gallery exhibitions are fine, but they tend to work better when it's known photographers and that kind of thing. So I think that's a component of it, but I really want something that's interactive involved with it. But here's the deal. If you don't know what Holga Projects are, I just realized I've been spinning off about this. Basically started this a year ago. I'll put a link in the video here, but in the show notes. About a year ago, we started this thing called Holga Projects, where I've been sending these plastic cameras out around the world and into groups of 3 people. So it's like a chain letter. I send the camera to the first person. They take, there's 12 images per roll. They take 4 images. They send it to the second. They take 4 images. Sends to the third person. They take their 4 images. It comes back to me, and I deal with the film and scanning and all that and put it up on the website. So you can see them at theartofphotography.tv. It all works fine when people actually do it. But in fact, in some cases, like this camera went to England, and my buddy Mark actually went to, I believe it was Liverpool, to the Beatles Museum and decorated the top with some cool stickers. I don't know if you can see those there. So anyway, it's been cool. It's been fun, and this would be a way to take that a step further. We've had some groups send their cameras back, but it's just too slow the way the mail works. And then I think people get the camera, and oh my gosh, I've got 4 shots. They've got to be simply outstanding, and just take your shots. I mean, they're going to be outstanding, but they don't need to be the best things you've ever done. I think there's a pressure on it that people feel, and so they tend to hang on to the camera too long. So anyway, sometimes they dribble back, and it's been a long time. Anyway, all this to say, and I think what I wanted to share with you on here on this little vlog edition is that this is a long shot. Let's face it, and it's going to take a little bit of time to think through. The deadline is August 12th for this, and I really don't have until then anyway. I've got other projects and things I'm working on. So it's a little bit of a crapshoot, and things like this can be, especially contest, cattle call kinds of stuff. This is the first one I've seen it's like this, where they're like, what do you want to do with the space? And it's the first time that I've actually had a project I've been working on that might be the right thing for it, but it might not be the right thing. And so, do you sit here and waste a bunch of time working on the proposal and stuff? That's arguable, but my feeling is that it's not a waste of time. And I think the worst case scenario is that they say, no, this isn't the right project, or worst case, you don't even hear back from. But still, you thought through a project, and that idea could spin into something later. That's certainly one thing. And then I think the other side of it is if you don't try it, you're definitely not going to make it. So I'm not a big fan of most photography kinds of contests, but I think this one is different. It's not really about me. It's about the people who watch the show. It's about the people who participate in the art of photography community, whether that be on Flickr. It's about the people who've come to meetups. It's about the people that I've known. And it's about that as a community coming together to do a photography project. And Lomography, say what you will, they are a little pricey with their cameras and film and stuff, but they really do a cool job of marketing this stuff and getting everybody excited about it. And I, for one, have no problem. In fact, I mean, my trip to New York last month, when I was in one of the galleries, I actually broke down and bought the little 35mm movie camera with the hand crank. It was just too cool to pass up, and I was in New York. I'm at a Lomo store, and it got the best of me. Anyway, just going through the email and found that and thought it might be kind of fun to turn on the camera and share. So that's what it is. Here's the deal. If you made it this far through the video, where are we, 8 minutes now, leave a comment. And the other thing I want to encourage is video responses. So if you're watching these, because I'm doing this vlog and it's very off the cuff, it's not like the regular Art of Photography podcast. Those are put together and researched, and I prepare a lot for those, and these are a lot different. And I think there's some stuff here that's worth sharing. However, I think it'd be really cool if some of you did video responses. If you have a YouTube account and you're set up, why not? As long as it's appropriate, I'd be happy to put it on here. So think about it. I don't see a lot of that actually really working out on YouTube, but we'll see. So anyway, that's it for now. That's all I wanted to share with you. But definitely leave comments, leave your thoughts. And like I said, if anyone that watches this has a contact at Lomography, it would be, I'd be forever in debt if you would send me an email. I think it would be the most wonderful thing in the world. Another thing, this is just a thought, it has nothing to do with the rest of this. I think it would be really cool, we're talking about community and we're talking about Holga Projects and all these, and I really want to be doing more live broadcasts, and I've done some live stuff before. In fact, they're archived in the YouTube channel if you look for Masterclass Live. And I did one masterclass, and it was 4 weeks. Each episode was about an hour. Surprisingly, I thought that's way too much time. Nobody's going to watch them. And, especially the first masterclass is one of my more viewed videos, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, it would be nice. And I've used Ustream for those. And if anybody has any hints on how to get approved to have live streaming on a YouTube account, I'm probably not in the numbers to be declared a partner, but you never know, maybe somebody watching knows. Anyway, all that to say, this has been another edition of the vlog. I really want to say this has been another edition of the Art of Photography, but it's not. And we're going to keep these coming. Leave a response, leave a video response if you can, but if not, just leave me a text response. Give me your thoughts, give me your ideas. I'm going to go ahead and enter this. I'm going to put enter the Holga Projects in it. And I think, especially because Lomography, really, I mean, that was one of the first flagship cameras they sold was the Holga, that and the Lomo LCA. I think it's a really appropriate project if we could find a way to do it. It may be short-lived. If they would be willing to do the participation part in like 3 days and then leave an exhibition up longer, if I didn't have to staff it or find volunteers to staff it, that would be different. And I don't know. I mean, I guess they select. They're looking for stuff for all 3 locations. The New York, the one on 8th. There's 2 in New York. There's another one near Chelsea. The one on 8th, the one in Los Angeles, and the one in San Francisco are what they're looking for. So anyway, it's an interesting email, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. And the worst thing that can happen is, hey, maybe that idea goes somewhere else with Holga Projects, and all's not for loss. So anytime you're thinking about doing something photography-wise, and you feel a little bit threatened by the if in there as to, what if it doesn't work or doesn't make it, don't. I think everything's worth doing, especially if it's something that you kind of believe in. And look at it from both sides, okay, if this is accepted, what could be done? If it's not accepted, maybe it's still recyclable for something else. So anyway, this happens to be a project for the podcast, but those could be actual photography projects as well. So anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow on the vlog.